వెల్కమ్ టు కెరీర్ ప్లస్. మనిషిని ఉన్నత స్థానానికి చేర్చే సాధనం చదువు. విలువైన జీవితాన్ని ప్రసాదించే మార్గదర్శి, ఆత్మస్థైర్యాన్ని నింపి అద్భుతాలు సాధింపజేసే జ్ఞానదర్శి. అందుకే ప్రతి పేరెంట్ చదువుకు అత్యంత ప్రాధాన్యతనిస్తూ ఉన్నారు. సాధారణ చదువుల కన్నా క్వాలిటీ అండ్ కాంపిటేటివిటీకి తగ్గట్లుగా ఉండే ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ని చూస్ చేసుకుంటూ ఉంటున్నారు. అలాంటి ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్స్ ని మాత్రమే ఎన్నుకుంటూ ఉన్నారు. కారణం ఒకటే, లైఫ్ లో హ్యాపీగా ఉండాలంటే ఎడ్యుకేషన్ బేస్ స్టాండర్డ్ గా ఉండాలనేది తల్లిదండ్రుల భావన. ఇక ప్రస్తుతం మన స్టూడియోలో బీపీపీ యూనివర్సిటీకి సంబంధించిన స్టాఫ్ ఉన్నారు. అసలు బీపీపీ యూనివర్సిటీ స్పెషాలిటీ ఏంటి, వీరు అందిస్తున్నటువంటి కోర్సుల ప్రత్యేకతలు ఏంటి, యూనివర్సిటీలో ఎడ్యుకేషన్ సిస్టంలో ఎలా ఉంది, ఇలాంటి మరిన్ని విశేషాలు తెలియజేయడానికి సారా మకిల్ రాయ్, డీన్ ఆఫ్ బిజినెస్ స్కూల్ అండ్ ఇంటర్నేషనల్ హైయర్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్, అలాగే వికీ నైట్, అసోసియేట్ డీన్ ఇంటర్నేషనల్ ప్రోగ్రామ్స్, వారిని అడిగి మరిన్ని వివరాలు తెలుసుకుందాం. వెరీ గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ to Sarah and Vicky.
Good evening.
It's nice to see you at Sakshi.
Thank you.
And first of all, Sarah, BPP University has been a very good outreach in Indian subcontinent. What made BPP so successful in our country?
I think there are two reasons. Firstly, the programs that we design. We work very closely with our partners here in India to design the right programs that we know the students want, that are going to help them with their careers in the future. And secondly, it's about the support that we give. We know very much that students invest a lot in their future and coming to the UK, so we support them very much with everything from their application right through to graduation.
As a BPP prides itself, and Vicky to you, and the university professions. Can you please elaborate it?
Yes, absolutely. Well, BPP is the University of the Professions because we work so closely with business. BPP is a global education group and we have more than 7,000 business clients. Because of that, we really understand the way business works and we bring all of that knowledge and those incredible relationships into the programs that we design for our international students.
What support does BPP provide to its students, Sarah?
Right, well, this is really important. When you get to know India and the education system, you realise that to travel to the UK and study is very, very different. We know when the students arrive, there's a lot to do and a lot to learn. So we work with them pre-arrival to make sure that they are prepared for everything that's going to happen to them. We have an engagement team that contact every single student before they leave India to make sure that everything's going to be fine. And we're very, very supportive. We have lots of ways of helping them through their application, including how we support and assess their English, which is very, very important for coming to study in the UK. But secondly, I run an international business school. We're focused on international students and particularly from India. My tutors understand what it's like to study abroad. We understand the support and the help that they're going to need. And our programs are really international and really looking at the careers that these students want going forward. So I have bachelor's students studying accountancy, and we're the biggest global provider of accountancy education in the UK and all over the world. I have a lot of students who want to come and study MSc Management. Everybody needs management skills for the future. And again, we look very much to the skills that are needed both globally but also back home for them here in India to make sure that when they come back, they stand out from the crowd.
Vicky, after COVID, the education curriculum, we need to change the curriculum itself to certain extent. What is the exact position of education curriculum and education landscape after post-COVID?
You're absolutely right. It really has changed. But I would say that most importantly what's changed is the world of work. So when the world of work has changed, we have to change the programs, not only the content of the programs, but also the way we deliver the programs to ensure that our students have the technology skills that are needed in today's place of work. And that means their ability to work remotely, to network remotely, as well as having the kind of digital and data skills that today's workplace really, really needs. And we're one of the first universities to ensure that all of our programs equip our students to have those digital and data skills.
For the completion of the studies at BPP University, it's for Sarah, and should students need to come to their home country?
Well, this is really interesting. There's so much going on at the moment between the UK and Indian governments. So firstly, back in July 2021, the graduate route went live, which means that all of our students, when they complete their programme, can stay and work in the UK for 2 years. They can get a new visa, which enables them to stay and get that fantastic work experience. But secondly, even last week, there's a new Anglo-Indian agreement between the education systems, meaning that we can recognise each other's qualifications. So again, this is a real commitment from the UK government to really welcoming Indian students to come and work and stay in the UK. We also have a talent shortage. You know, we are an island and we are open for business for international students. So there are some great opportunities. Already in BPP, I have around 800 students who recently have completed, who've got some work and are staying in the UK. And also continuing to support their friends at BPP. So we are like a big family in the UK.
Yeah, one more question to add, Sarah.
Yeah.
And every student is so particular about the placement assistance from the university.
Yes.
And what assistance does BPP provide to its students, madam, regarding placements?
Well, there are two things. Firstly, our MSc management course is very unique. There's no other MSc management course like the one that we have. It has a 6-month placement at the end where we help the students to get work, and during that time they can meet employers, get experience, and again that will prepare them very much for staying in the UK. But secondly, we have BPP Talent, which is a new initiative where we are placing our students both in BPP, we employ our own students, and not just in the university, in all sorts of jobs, digital marketing, client services, project management, and we work obviously with our corporate clients to place those students there. One of the really big, exciting things about the UK at the moment is diversity. All companies are looking for global talent, and BPP has that talent. So there are exciting things to come for our students.
Vicky, and after post-Brexit, have the job opportunities has increased in the local markets, and how does it going to change the near future?
Yes, absolutely they have. I think one of the first things to say is that there's wonderful opportunities for part-time work for students whilst they're on programme. That was quite difficult, I would say, in the past. It's so important for students to get started in their careers with high-quality part-time work to support and enhance their studies. That is absolutely in a better position than before. And then, of course, importantly, after they graduate. And again, I think the workforce realignment in the post-Brexit era is really a fantastic opportunity for students coming from all over the world, but especially for students from India, to come in and really grab hold of some fantastic work opportunities. So in many ways, it's never been a better time for Indian students to come to the UK, to study in BPP, and to know that that's just the beginning of a fantastic career.
What are the future plans of BPP in India?
Oh, well, we're only just getting started. I mean, India is a diverse country, and in some respects, there are many, many different markets. So we're here in Hyderabad, where we're already popular. We are also working in Punjab, Haryana and Gujarat. Next week, I'm going to Kerala, which is a whole different market. We've specialised a lot in management and also accountancy in the past, but equally we're growing our programmes in healthcare and nursing, for example, and there are huge opportunities. So we're really looking for what are the careers and jobs that people here want, and how can we help with that. So I'm seeing all of our programmes grow. So I would expect to see BPP in the next 2 years in more markets. We already recruit about 4,000 or 5,000 students a year from India, and I'm expecting that to increase every year by about 25 to 30%. So BPP is here to stay.
Yeah, Vicky, any advice for Indian students who want to pursue their education in UK?
Well, absolutely. I would say the first thing is, be prepared. You're going to another country, you're going to study. So, you need to be ready for new experiences. But that also means quite boring things like having the right equipment. So, for example, make sure you have a laptop that's going to work, because that's going to be at the centre of your learning and your career journey. Beyond that, I would say embrace every opportunity. Of course, we are, very proud of the opportunities that we will provide to students arriving at BPP. But there are opportunities everywhere in the UK. So look out for them, enjoy them. It's important that not only do you study, that you start your career successfully, but of course that you also have fun.
Sarah, your advice?
Oh, my advice, yes. So firstly, really, really work hard on your application. You need to tell us why you want to come to the UK and why BPP. You know, BPP is very special, so really do your research and write a great statement of purpose that tells us why we should choose you. And secondly, practice your English. Yeah, you're going to come and live and study in a new environment. And we know that you've learnt English. We know that you've studied everything in English to date, but it's still going to be very new and everybody can learn. So do some business English courses, read English newspapers, listen to some English news podcasts, and think about all of those things that are going to help, because as soon as you get to the UK and as soon as you start your course, you're going to be writing in English, you're going to be researching in English. So get a head start so that it's all very, very easy.
What is the educational qualification in order to pursue in BPP University? Let me remind that to the students once again.
Well, of course, it really does depend on the programme of study that you want to choose, but we have a range of programmes for undergraduate study and for postgraduate study. Of course, for postgraduate study, you need to have completed your degree. But, you know, our team here in India are expert in supporting students as they make applications. So always reach out to our fantastic team, our local team here, who will counsel and guide students to make sure that they are using the qualifications they have and that they're making the right choice when they choose BPP.
And can you elaborate on that?
Yes, so for our postgraduate degrees, we'll obviously look at what bachelor's you did and we'll have a look at your grade point average there. And, you know, the better you've done, the more likely you are to get an offer. But we will also offer routes with interviews and maybe pre-master's study. If you really want to come to BPP and you're really committed, then we will do everything we can to admit you. For our undergraduate programmes, we're looking for great scores in your high school certificate, especially in English. Yeah, if you've got great scores there, then we're going to make you an offer. So we like to think that we're a very inclusive organisation, but equally, I think the most important thing is not about the qualifications, but the motivation of the students. It's hard work studying a bachelor's or a master's in the UK, so you've got to be ready to do that. So we like to interview as many of the students as we can to see what they're thinking and why they want to come. Because if you work hard, you'll get a fantastic qualification that's really special.
And Vicky, you have seen a lot many Indian students who will be studying in your university. And what is your focus points, madam? I mean, I just want to know what are the areas of improvement in them, what are the strengths and what are the weaknesses, so that they can overcome it, madam. I mean,
well, I mean, obviously all students are different and we take, very seriously working with each student as an individual. But I think for many students, one of the wonderful things that they do get, all students that come to us, is that international experience that makes them, stand out from the crowd and shows that they have flexibility, that they're motivated and dynamic. I think it's important that not only do they walk away from BPP with a sort of academic qualification, but we're really focused on working with our students on developing their skills. And that's a whole range of skills, from communication skills to personal organisation skills, so that they're confident when they're talking to employers and that they can express themselves, in a very polished manner. So that's something that, every student will improve when they're with BPP, yeah.
How will they call, university environment there, madam?
Okay, so we have very friendly campuses. They're quite small, but that means we can get to know every single student and they can easily find all of the services. We have a brand new campus in London that's actually opening on the 1st of August, and that is a fantastic space, and that's going to be for our postgraduates. It's right in the city of London. It's near the Tower of London, which people might know what that looks like, and it's going to be really modern. It doesn't feel like a university. It feels like you'll be working at Google or Apple. It's so special. And then our campus in Shepherd's Bush in London is for our undergraduates, and it's very friendly, very supportive, because those students need a lot of help to get them started and lots of advice. So we create a very friendly atmosphere. We encourage the students to be doing everything in English, but of course we understand that sometimes they're going to want to have support in their own language, and we recognise that this is a partnership between us and the students when they come.
And Vicky, here in India, most of the students, they are good at academics, and whereas this research and also practical exposure, they're not to that great extent, and they're not that much advanced compared to the advanced countries like UK, US, whatever it is. And how about this practical exposure in universities, especially in terms of research, I mean?
Well, I mean, I think that's exactly why we have been so successful in India and with our Indian students, is because we are so focused on those practical skills. What does it take to succeed in the workplace? What are the skills that you need for the jobs of the future? That's what we focus on, and that's embedded in all of our programs. So from day one, we support you to grow those skills, but also to evidence them so that you can tell an employer that you have great presentation skills, so that you can describe a situation where you managed others and led a team. That's what employers are looking for today. Academics and qualifications are not enough. So many employers tell us that it's the skills that matter, and that's why they're front and centre for us too.
And Sarah, India is, more successful in pharmaceutical industry and software industry, because there, there's not much group involvement over there, not that much landscape. And whereas the other jobs like, they need more exposure, more interaction, where that many Indians lack in it. Expressive, they're not that much expressive. How would that BPP University change in the due course of the time while they pursue their education in BPP University?
Yeah, it's a great question, because really we take a lot of people with very, very fantastic qualifications in, like you say, engineering, pharmaceuticals, organic sciences, a whole range. And what we do is we say, okay, you've got that knowledge, you are absolutely expert, but what we want to do is make you employable. So how do you talk about that knowledge? How do you relate that to the work environment, and what skills do you need? And I think one of the key things is that all of our courses have digital and data skills built in. Whatever you want to be, you need great digital skills. You need to be able to handle data. So we're expecting to see a big growth in those kind of courses, and certainly those kind of jobs, things like software engineer, data analyst. And we're really ahead of that because we're designing the courses for those jobs of the future. But I think what our Indian students see very much from day one is, oh, okay, this isn't a classroom with a teacher that's going to talk at me. I've got to actually really get involved in this. I've got to go and do things online myself. So we give them access to all kinds of online software and learning tools. And really, they get so much from BPP, but they've got to use it.
And also, Vicky, most students in India, they expect support through faculty. How would the support from the faculty to the students?
Well, I think we're immensely proud of our faculty, and indeed, whenever we ask students for their feedback on every aspect of their learning experience, and that's something we do all the time, our faculty always come out with the most unbelievable reviews. They're known as supportive, helpful, they go the extra mile, they're always there. I mean, their role is to support the students, and that's what they want to do. Of course they teach, but they realise that students' needs may be different, and they make themselves available. If the student wants to succeed, our tutors will be right there with them from day one.
Most universities exist as an education provider. They have courses, and yes, they will talk about and support employability, but they're not really thinking forward into the futures of the students. What we're going to be doing at BPP is working with employers in advance to say to the employers, what students will you need to recruit next year and the year after? And when they tell us, we'll say, okay, we will be able to design courses for that. So technology is a really good example. A lot of our clients are based here in Hyderabad as well as in London, and obviously other places in India. So for example, we have KPMG, we have Grant Thornton, as some of our accountancy firms. They are recruiting large numbers of students. And at the moment, they're going out onto the open market to look for these students. I want them to come to BPP. I don't want them to have to recruit students. We will provide those students because we will build the course that means that they are ready to go and work in those firms. And that's the difference of what we're going to be doing in the next 18 months.
Yeah, okay, and every student should be well aware of what the employer is looking into a job aspirant. How well the university assists the student to cope up with it?
Well, I mean, our careers service is award-winning. They work with the students from the very beginning, and part of that is to help them to develop their CVs, to develop their interview skills. But students have to be aware that when they're interviewing or when they're talking to employers are very, very interested in the skills that they have and also in their ability to learn. One of the most important skills for the future is the ability to learn. And so, of course, that's something that's part of our DNA. It's part of what we do, is support students to realise that actually, even when they've graduated with a master's degree, they're in many ways at the beginning of their journey. So it's an ongoing journey for them to continue to love learning, to get the love for learning, and to know that when they're talking to employers, that enthusiasm, that ability to be a self-starter, is going to be really central to their chances of landing that job.
Thank you so much, Sarah and Vicky, for letting our students know what courses BPP University is offering and also what the fee structure is and how they want to apply the application process to join in your university. Thank you so much for joining with us, Sarah and Vicky, once again. And it's really a joy for us to have an interaction with you, two esteemed people. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's been delightful.
Thank you, madam. అండ్ చూసారు కదండి, బీపీపీ అప్లికేషన్ ప్రాసెస్ దగ్గర నుంచి అక్కడికి వెళ్ళడానికి ఎలాంటి ఫెసిలిటీస్ ఉన్నాయనేటువంటిది త్రూ కన్సల్టెన్సీ ఏజెంట్స్ మనకు నెంబర్స్ డిస్ప్లే అవుతున్నాయి. వాళ్ళు కానీ కన్సల్ట్ అయినట్లయితే యూనివర్సిటీకి సంబంధించిన డీటెయిల్స్ తో పాటు అప్లికేషన్ ప్రాసెస్ తో పాటు వీసా ప్రాసెస్ కూడా వాళ్ళు హెల్ప్ చేస్తారు. అక్కడ ఆఫర్ చేసే కోర్సెస్ కూడా కంప్లీట్ గా మన డీటెయిల్స్ వరకు విన్నాం. సో దిస్ ఈస్ టుడేస్ కెరీర్ ప్లస్. స్టే ట్యూన్ టు సాక్షి.